Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal. And effective June 1st, banks that accept green deposit will have to inform the Reserve Bank of India how they would invest the funds collected under green deposit. Now, the move is aimed at enhancing transparency and ensuring that the money goes to its intended cause. But what exactly are green deposits and how are they different from regular fixed deposits? Let's understand all of this. I have Mrin Agarwal, founder director of FinSafe, with me. Mrin, good evening. Welcome to the show. We already love fixed deposits in India, okay? And looking at the interest rate rise also, we've seen a lot of benefit going or being passed on to these to Indians who specifically prefer very secured, safe and very conservative form of investment for them. But what exactly are green deposit? How similar and how different are they from your regular fixed deposit?
So good evening, Kavita, and it's lovely to be on your show. Well, the green deposit works just like a normal fixed deposit. So it's a fixed amount invested at a fixed interest rate for a fixed period, except that the usage of the deposit is going to be different. Banks need to use it to basically fund green projects and activities. So unlike the normal deposits, which can be lent out for any business, these deposits need to be used for specific activities, which are actually outlined by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So these would include things like renewable energy, climate change, green transportation, waste management. So essentially, this money would need to go towards funding projects in this space, like, for example, pollution prevention or biodiversity conservation, etc. And as you just mentioned, that the new rule is that banks would need to inform as to where the funds are being invested. There's also going to be a third-party verification on the usage of the fund and an impact analysis on the utilization of these funds as well.
Mrin, just to get a perspective and to understand, how does this thing work globally? Is it a global phenomena?
Yes, it is. There are some banks globally who are offering it as well. And of course, this ties in with the whole thing that you're seeing around ESG.
All right. So the kind of projects that these banks or other financial institutions would be funding, on what basis would that criteria be decided to fund a particular project? Is there a guideline or a framework decided by the central bank for this? Because if I'm putting my money in a particular green deposit and I know that this bank is using this money for a particular project, won't an investor want to know about it? Is it possible? Is there transparency when it comes to know what kind of project your particular bank is funding through this money that you have put in? Mrin, am I audible? Mrin, are you able to hear me? Okay, I think we are going to get back to her. But then before that, just because we also discussed what kind of banks are offering this facility of green deposits. So just to name a few, we have Federal Bank, IndusInd Bank, HSBC, we have Union Bank, we have DBS Bank and HDFC Bank and Citibank, who already offer this service of green deposit in India as well. Also, very important part is the rate of interest that you can earn. So just like we've discussed earlier, green deposit are just like your regular fixed deposit. The rate could be just 0.5% higher as compared to your regular fixed deposit. I also have Mrin back with me. Mrin, did you get the question or you want me to repeat?
Yeah, can you just repeat it, please?
Sure. So I was just trying to understand that so these banks and financial institutions obviously have to fund a particular project with the kind of money the investor puts into a green deposit. So what would be the criteria of selecting and deciding these projects from a bank's perspective? And also, if I am putting my money in this particular green deposit, will there be transparency for me to know as to what kind of a project this bank is funding from my money?
I think, we'll have to wait for some of these guidelines to be developed. Yes, RBI has certainly come out and said that banks have to frame guidelines in terms of what sort of projects they are funding. And hopefully in the future, we would be able to see it. I'm not sure whether we'd be able to see the exact details of the project funded. I don't know how much transparency will be there on that front. That we have to wait and watch.
All right. And what kind of investment duration are we talking about? What's the interest rate that we are talking about? Is it totally similar to your fixed deposit that you already have?
It's what from what I saw, it's typically about 0.5% more. And the investment duration, what I saw was typically in the range of about 3 to 6 years that is available. So somebody had 111 days, 222 days. Some people had like 36 to 60 months. So I think typically in the range of about 3 to 6 years is what we are looking at. And I think, for example, a regular deposit would give you about maybe 7%, and this could give you about 7.55%, of course, depending on a higher time frame. So, of course, each bank has its own different interest rates, but I think what we are looking at is about 0.5% over the regular deposit.
Also, Mrin, our deposits in the bank are insured. And I think almost around by till 5 lakh, you get that insured money if at all something happens to your deposit in a particular bank. Are green deposits also insured?
Yes, very much. They're insured up to 5 lakhs under the deposit guarantee insurance. And of course, as I said, it works in the same way as a normal fixed deposit. So you can invest as an individual, you can invest as a corporate, and it just works in the same way.
Implications involved? Including the tax implications involved, Mrin?
Yes, absolutely. The tax implications are also exactly the same. It is, it's most of these are going to be cumulative deposits. So it's the same way. It's basically taxed at slab. At the time of course, I mean, it's taxed at slab. So, the same things would apply
Sure.
in terms of the tax deduction at source and everything.
All right. So in the end, the bigger question or the most important question, should we really go ahead with green deposit, or is it just a new trendy phenomena that people are catching up to, and just because they see a good cause behind it, about which also we need a lot of clarity. We still don't know much about it. So should an investor consider investing or putting their money in a green deposit? Or you think an ESG fund is a better option just because you want to do something good for the environment?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really meant for people who are very sustainability conscious and who want to ensure that their money is being invested for these particular green causes. So to that extent, I think it's good. But yes, I mean, right now it could just feel at the starting phase, it could just feel like a trend. And also, the interest rate is 0.5% higher. So if you do have a 3 to 6 year time frame, you might think, okay, why not I just put it there? Because I'll be able, everything else would be the same. There might be some differences, though I feel in the premature withdrawals. I'm not sure, but I think there could be some differences out there. But I would say that this is really meant for people who are sustainability oriented, who believe in the whole ESG thing, and who want to ensure that their money is invested in ESG compliant manner.
All right, that will be all, and everything that one needs to know about a green deposit. Thank you so much, Min, for being on the show and helping our viewers with this today. On that note, let's take a quick break, and post that I'll be joined by Sanjeev Bhasin, who's going to talk about investing during these market times, and also how do you select a company, and based on that company, what kind of a duration you should be putting your money in. All of this and all of this more about the market as well with Sanjeev Bhasin after this break.